So the Lakers have been struggling, and so has LeBron this season. Had a decent individual game last night, like 18 first half points, shot the ball extremely well, and look, nobody on this Lakers team plays defense. Let's be real. He's doesn't play defense, but nobody does. Nobody on this team does. Either way, though, is it time to bring LeBron off the bench? That's what this video we're going to be discussing. Before we get on to that, though, we're doing Hoopsmas. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. To do that, we're going to be uploading 10 videos a day between the 1st and 25th of December. We are at 7,504 subscribers. If we can get to 7,550 by the end of the day, that would be absolutely insane. But we got to talk about LeBron. So, LeBron's plus minus is horrendous. It is horrendous. And the Lakers just lost another game by 40 points. And it's now at the stage when it comes to the Lakers of even when LeBron has a good game, it's not really impacting winning that much. Like when he has a bad game, they just can't win. But even when he has a good game, they're still not guaranteed to be winning games. And that's just the problem when it comes to LeBron, is that he is very evidently 40, and the rest of the pieces around him are not what's needed for a 40-year-old. Like, I still think if LeBron was a third option on a team, he could be a damn good one. We saw in the Olympics, when LeBron has elite talent around him, he can still be the best player with that. Like, they don't win the Olympics if LeBron sits at home. They honestly don't. Like, his plus minus in the Olympics was crazy in the games that mattered. Like, the starters really did an unbelievable job. They pulled them out of wins. And it's always a tricky one, because I still think if the Lakers do make the playoffs, it's still important to have LeBron there, because they don't win a game in the playoffs without him. But I'm not sure they make it with him or without him, to be honest. And there's talk about him going to the bench. I don't know what that's going to do for the Lakers, because I'm sorry, the Lakers are not a well-constructed roster. And you can blame, like, a lot of that was caused, again, by, like, the Russ trade. But, like, that was 4 years ago now. So we can't, or 3 years ago now, we can't keep blaming that Russ trade. Like, some of the pieces they've picked up have been good. They've just had unfortunate injuries. And they've done a really bad job in like, some of the guys they picked up on the cheap. Like, signing Gabe Vincent on a mid-level exception, not the right signing. I still think D'Lo's a decent player. I still think, like, there are still decent players around there in this team. Like, drafting Jalen Hood-Schifino was a terrible draft pick at number 17. Especially when he could have had, like, if this team had a Pajemski, had even a Jaime Jaquez to be better. They did a good job with Dalton Connect. But, like, this is a team, even with, like, this is genuinely one of the worst teams player for player in the entire NBA. And look, it's a combination of drafting poorly. Like, they've drafted quite poorly. They have not been able to sign anyone good in free agents. They've got poor free agents. There is a regression in LeBron James, obviously. And Anthony Davis plays 6 good games a year and then just decides he's going to just be a normal guy. So it is a tough one. Like, look at AD's last 5 games. 19, 15. Yeah, 33 in a win against Utah. 12, 8. Like, he's going through really, really rough patch. As bad as LeBron's been, AD was 100 times worse yesterday. He was 100 times worse. And in 4 of those 5 games, he's had a 1 or less blocks. Like, the team doesn't play defense. It's just a toxic situation. And it's at the stage where Anthony Davis should be the leader of this team. Like, we've never seen a situation where a 40-year-old who's regressing being the leader of the team has worked well, or someone this late in their career. Them as the leaders has worked well, other than like a Tim Duncan. But you could see by Tim Duncan's last year, that was Kawhi's team. Tim Duncan gave that team to Kawhi, and Kawhi took over. It was Kawhi's team. It was LaMarcus Aldridge's team. That's why that Spurs team was so good. But this Lakers team, Anthony Davis has just not been able to take over at number 1. And LeBron is not good enough to be a number one option anymore. He's just not. And a lot of talk about bringing him off the bench. Like, this Lakers team, they don't win. Like, they're not winning with him. They sure as hell don't win without him. Like, we can be real here. A lineup of Austin Reeves, Dalton Connect, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, and sometimes Jackson Hayes. Or maybe Rui Hachimura. That team's as bad as the Sixers. That team wins 15 games. Especially with Anthony Davis playing the way he is. That team doesn't win a game. Like, obviously, they win occasional. But, like, they go and become a 25-win team with that lineup. The only chance they have of being a 40 game. And then AD is going to pick up an injury, inevitably. And then when AD picks up an injury, they literally don't win a game. Like, that starting lineup's terrible. And then bringing LeBron off the bench, it's not going to make LeBron play better. And they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Like, they're not going to be good with LeBron. They're not going to be good without LeBron on the floor. So whatever, you can look into plus minus and all of these advanced stats, but like, this is not a good basketball team. This is a team that gives minutes to Christian Coloco. Like, they gave 13 minutes in the Miami game to Christian Coloco. Like, this is just a really, really bad basketball team. I think people need to realize that. Like, a lot of people on a bad basketball team are going to have bad plus minus. And the worst part about this is that their effort is non-existent. It is absolutely, absolutely non-existent. And he's 40. He's only able to play one end of the floor right now. The problem is that the guys that are meant to be playing the other end of the floor, like, you can still have LeBron on your team. You got to have players play around them, or at least players be able to, like, again, play the defense. Like, AD's not playing defense this season. Like, he's just stopped playing defense. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate, but AD is effectively stopped playing defense. And, like, bringing D'Lo off the bench actually seemed to work a little bit. At times, anyway. And I don't know if bringing LeBron off the bench is going to help anything. I don't. I think trying to bring a guy off the bench for the first time in his career probably his last season, isn't going to help your team. I think at this stage, the Lakers should just go and pull the retirement tour. Like, people don't realize it. People, obviously, when we talk about Kobe, don't forget that they won 15 games in his final season. They won, 17 the year before? Like, the Lakers were awful with Kobe. Like, they were so bad. Like, they ended up the next season with addition by subtraction when they got rid of Kobe. And LeBron's not quite at that level because obviously he didn't have the AC or the Achilles tear. So he still somewhat can turn it on at times in a game. But it's clear that he should not be a number one or a number two on a good NBA team anymore. The problem is that if he regresses to like a number 4 or 5 role, who the hell is going to do anything for the Lakers? They're not a good basketball team. They're genuinely not a good basketball team. So all the like theories of, you know, these players, like, this is what they should do, this is what LeBron should do. Like, at this stage, the Lakers are just not good. It's as simple as that. LeBron is probably the best 40-year-old we've ever seen, but he's still a 40-year-old. And, like, you can't play 82 games at his age on both ends of the floor. And unfortunately, there's ways of trying to hide LeBron on defense, but it's hard to hide LeBron on defense when you don't have somebody else to step up and be that leader by example anymore. Because LeBron's can't be the leader by example anymore. He's not the leader by example. No one else on that team has stepped up. Anthony Davis was meant to have taken over as the number one. He didn't. And LeBron is still trying to be the leader of that team, which he's done a really bad job of this year. Like, the whole bronny situation, the fact, again, he's just playing it out. And, like, obviously, we have short-term memory. I'm hearing all the things LeBron's been washed for like 4 years now, and it's like, man, LeBron literally led a team, was the best player on a team that made the conference finals 18 months ago. LeBron James was the Olympic MVP 4 months ago. But I don't think he's got 82 in him. He's not got 82 in him when he wants to play 82. It's as simple as that. And I think if he wants to play 82, announced a retirement tour right now. I don't think putting him on the bench, I don't think phasing him out is going to help the Lakers. I think the only thing the Lakers can do is basically try to say, you know what, we're going to suck this year. We're going to really suck. At least make sure we sell out our stadium. LeBron, retirement tour. Otherwise, I can't see LeBron coming back for another year. Like, he's regressed enough this year that if he comes back next year and is like a 15 point per game scorer, the retirement tour doesn't have the effect. He's still LeBron James sometimes. He still can turn it on for a quarter at a time and look like one of the best players in the world. The problem is now at 40 years old, it's hard to even get 4 quarters out of him, let alone 82 games of 4 quarters. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I honestly don't think building around, or I don't think bringing him to the bench helps a single thing. But at the same time, I just think Lakers with him on the bench, on the floor, off the team, they're going to suck. And I don't think they get better by getting rid of him because they suck without him and they suck with him.